Hello, King's A&E. In 10. Thank you. Bye. 10.
King's College Hospital, London. A major trauma centre.
Have you got her blood pressure yet?
She was on the floor and I thought she's dead.
And one of the busiest A&E departments in the world.
Stabbing, code red.
King's is everything. Everything pounds in through that door.
The badge has been trapped between him and the bridge.
A place where love.
Can I wait here until she comes home? Can I come home with her?
Life.
Oh, apart from having a brain injury, never better.
What happened?
I got bitten.
By who?
By me mate.
And loss unfold every single day.
I've not got a happy feeling of you. Not breathing.
All the patients you're about to see were treated in one department, in just one 24-hour period.
You're going to be all right. You know what happens when things are bad? Daddy's here.
Please don't cry.
The moment that you're in resus and you're really sick and all you can think about is, am I going to live, am I going to die? Silly things go out the window. And ultimately what's important is realised that you're loved and that you're not alone.
God, it's cold here.
I know.
It's cold.
It's because you've just been outside, love.
Oh, but it's cold anyway.
Winter is the busiest time of year for the emergency department. Cold weather brings in almost 10% more patients. The hospital is gearing up for snow.
Can I just have a quick look at your lip? You don't have to move or anything. When did that happen?
Last night.
About 9:30 last night.
Does it go right the way through onto the inside, or is it just on the outside?
No, it's just by her.
Jen is one of the senior sisters in the paediatric A&E department.
Have you had all your jabs up to date?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's your jabs it. Lovely. When it snows, everyone goes a little bit mad. It's like any change in weather condition. People go bonkers because it's snowing and it's different and it's exciting. Have yourselves a seat back in the waiting room. There's the doctor calling you. And I'll go and find out if it's snowing. I love the snow. I'm straight out there with my boots, my scarf and gloves, playing in the snow. I remember when my dad and I rolled an enormous snowball and we got it stuck in the neighbour's gate while she was away on holiday. But my dad was a big kid with us and we used to play in the snow. Says it's going to snow tonight, but...
It's meant to snow from like 5 or 6.
6.
That's just what we need, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't mind.
Yeah.
When it snows, you're seeing people that have slipped over in ice, you're seeing people that have injured themselves tobogganing, going down ridiculous slopes and acting like children. But you're going to get injuries no matter what the weather is. It's just more interesting ones in the snow. I like fractures.
Emergency ambulance?
My daughter's just caught on fire. She's 5.
What's happened?
She was just standing by the fire and her skirt caught alight. My husband's hands are burnt as well.
Put her under cold water. I'm organising help for you now.
You're right, you're all right. The ambulance is coming, it's all right.
If her clothes are burning or smouldering, douse them with water immediately. If you just cool the burn for up to 10 minutes with water. Okay?
Yeah.
Just reassure her that we are arranging help.
tweezers, please. Quarter tweezers.
The 5-year-old girl is being brought to A&E after burning her legs in a fire at home. Her dad has injuries to his hands and is coming with her in the ambulance. Her mum stayed at home to look after their 2 young boys.
Hello, Pete A&E. We see an awful lot of burns. Children that step on hair straighteners, children that get burnt by hot oil, when they pull cups of tea down, when they pull on a kettle cord. A burn that comes in as a red phone tend to be the 1st and 2nd degree burns. They're going to be in agony.
Well done. Well done.
King's is the family's nearest hospital. The team will treat Daisy's burns and then decide whether she needs to go to a specialist burns unit.
Okay, so this is Daisy, and she's 5 years old. She was standing by a gas fire in the living room, and her skirt caught fire. She was also wearing tights. Her dad put the fire up with his hand, and she's just got some first secondary burns to the top of her leg.
I know.
Is it just on the back of her leg, or is it on?
Well done. Well done. Well done.
1st degree burns are going to be the very surface of the skin. Then you've got 2nd degree where the skin's starting to peel off and it's weeping and fluid coming out of it.
Well done. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
So she's going to be fluid resuscitated for the first 8 hours with 0.25 mils times percent of burns.
With burns children, we've got to replace what they're possibly losing through that burn. If they're losing the fluid, they've got nothing to sustain them. So the heart's not going to work in the way it should, to the extent that eventually it would stop working.
It's all to be helpful, all right? It's going to be helpful. It's going to be helpful. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done.
I was watching the rugby on the telly. Daisy was playing at the other end of the room. And the next thing we knew, Daisy was screaming. And I looked over and she was on fire. That image will trouble me for the rest of my life. You're not meant to see that. It's not meant to happen.
Snowing later.
Hope it does. Yeah, when I walked home this morning, there was like
little bits, wasn't there?
Snow in the air. It was awesome.
Just let me know when you get home. As I say, it's not the best day to be out. I just know that every time there is a bit of a sprinkle, sometimes they use every excuse in the book to cancel the trains. It's happened before.
X-ray, please.
Just sitting about now, isn't it? Hey? Just sitting about now. I said sitting about now. What? I said we're sitting about waiting.
Maurice is 74. He's come to King's with his son Dane after he tripped, hurting his hand.
Itchy leg. Got itchy leg? I said, you got itchy leg?
Hey?
Have you got itchy leg?
A what?
Have you got an itchy leg?
Yeah, up there.
Yeah.
He's a good dad, he's a really good dad. He's funny, he's quite funny, James. He comes out with little things, he's always been like that, you know what I mean? Like, he's always got on with people. He makes me laugh all the time.
Maurice, do you want to come in?
He used to take me fishing. And then, like, as we got older, I got into playing pool and stuff like that, darts, football. We used to do that all together. I was more closer to him than what I was my mum, sort of thing.
Hi, Maurice. How can I help you? My name's Safi. I'm one of the nurse practitioners here.
He's fell over in the street.
Straight down off the pavement, straight across my head.
Did you? So was it more like a trip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you banged your head, were you able to get up all right?
I got up all right, yeah.
You weren't knocked out?
No.
Was he with you when he fell?
Yeah.
Any vomiting?
No, nothing, no. Because he's in a care home at the moment, you see what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you just having a little trip out together? Or is
Yeah,
that
we
what
do
happened?
we do it every Saturday.
Okay.
He's been there for about a year and a half now. I normally go up and see him as much as I can, but not during the week mostly because I'm busy looking for work. It's mostly weekends I can get up there and see him on a Saturday to take him out. But he looks forward to that. He's always ready and dressed to go. But as long as he has his breakfast, that's all I'm worried about before he goes.
Good. I'm just going to have a feel of the bones, all right, and see if you need an X-ray. Sorry, Morris. Sorry.
Carry on. It's got to be done.
That one all right there? Bit sore.
Yeah.
How about there?
No. Oh, there, I caught it there. There, I've got it here.
Right, I'm going to clean you up, book you for an X-ray. Would you like some painkillers?
Do you want some painkillers?
Necessary?
It's up to you.
It's up to you, I don't know.
I'll go without.
You sure?
Is it a bit uncomfortable? It's all right. It's all right, darling. It's going to get better. It's going to get better.
I'm giving you some medicine, so those painkillers are going to start to kick in, and I'm going to put some magic go-go juice into your vein. That this doctor...
Daisy's losing fluid from the blisters on her burnt legs.
Well done. Well done.
Sweetheart, we've got these tubes into both of your hands now, and this is to give you... This is to give you fluid into your body, but what we need to do is we need to put a tube just down here to take the fluid out of your body. So shall I explain that to Daddy as well? Yeah? Just because we need to do a strict fluid monitoring of in and out, we're going to need to put a catheter into her just so that we can...
Days, it's going to make you feel better, all right? And what we're going to do while it happens is you're going to look at me, we're going to have a little chat like we do in the evenings, all right?
Jen and the team need to keep her fluid levels up to stop her body shutting down.
Children are terrified of what they don't know about. They're scared of noises going on, they're scared of 10 strangers sticking needles into them. It's not okay. It's alien to them. It's terrifying.
You know how normally we talk about what was the best thing that happened to you today? Should we not have that chat? Because it hasn't been a very good day, has it? Oh, darling, you're going to be all right.
If you just let your legs go all floppy,
Well done.
that's a
Well
good girl.
done. Mummy's coming. Mummy's coming.
Cold water down here, sweetheart, OK? It's going a little bit
There we go. Well done. Well
Good.
done.
I believe that you have to be honest to children, because if I go in and say to a child, I'm not going to hurt you, and then you go and give them a great big injection, how are they going to trust you in future? How are they going to trust anyone else in future? It's not fair.
Well done. Well done. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all
Go all
right.
floppy.
It's all right. It's all right. Darling. Days, it's going to be fine, I promise.
Good girl.
I promise it's going to be fine.
There's an awful lot a parent can do. They can reassure their child, and that's as helpful to me as giving the child pain relief.
OK, darling, well done.
It's all right. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Sweetheart.
Well done.
All right, sweetheart, it's
Well
OK.
done. Well done. It's all right.
Good girl.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'm here. I'm right here.
Good girl.
You're going to be all right. You know what happens when things are bad? Daddy's here. Yeah? You know how Daddy always saves you. You're being absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, have you seen the snow? Yeah, they're flimmings coming down here, are heavy as well. I'll probably come home from one with a big red nose. All right, Dad. Ta-ra. God, blimey hell.
When it does snow, it does get really busy. Sometimes it can be up to about 2 or 3 hours wait.
You see outside, it is thick. It's coming down.
Patients were coming in with broken arms, broken legs, things like that. I'm not really fussy, really. Cold weather doesn't bother me at all.
Last year, more than 14,000 people came to hospital after slipping on snow or ice.
How did you do your foot?
So I was wearing leather shoes because I just come from work. I slipped in the snow.
He looks like an ankle specialist. Oh yes, Mr. Ankle, come on. Be the ankle man. Are you an ankle doctor? Ankle specialist? One day. He's not an ankle specialist. Are you an ankle specialist?
No, I'm not.
You look like it. You've got to butter them up.
Got to butter them up? You look like one. Did you see my ankle?
Ankles. Talk to me. We need to find out what it is in Latin, and then they'll respond.
I don't know if it seems to be doing anything.
This is gonna go any minute. This is gonna go on me any minute. Hey?
Now, Maurice, when was your last tetanus? You remember?
Do you know when your last tetanus injection? Do you know when your last tetanus injection was?
Always the first time.
Were you vaccinated as a child?
I haven't got, I just don't know, love.
Now, you're in a care home. Is that because you've got memory loss?
Yeah, he's got a bit of dementia.
Okay. Is that short-term memory loss?
I think so, yeah.
It was my cousin that noticed it because she works in the care home, and she said to me to say it when we were dead. I think he's got dementia. And she said to me, I'll advise you to take him to the doctor when you get back home. And they did a few tests asking him, like, do you know what day it is, the year, do you remember your name and stuff, when you was born, where you was born? And maybe 1 or 2 questions you can answer, but the rest, and they said, oh yeah, we think he's got dementia.
He was fine up until last year.
Yeah.
And then when they retired him off, and like, in my opinion, it just went downhill because just sitting, nothing to do. You know what I mean? Like, he's worked all his life. You know what I mean? Like that.
What did you used to do, Maurice?
He was a concierge, weren't you?
Sorry?
Concierge, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
In a private block of flats on Vauxhall. But he had all like MPs and people like that living in there. He just had to answer the phone, do the rounds, and like when they come in with their shopping, open the door for them and help them up.
He's brilliant, Dad. He's always worked. He's always been really proud, you know what I mean? Like, but he got early retirement. He was just sitting looking at 4 walls, nothing to do. Where he's been working all his life, 50, 60 years, whatever, he's like just gone downhill from there because there's nothing to do. No, you know what I mean? It's even hard for me sitting here looking at 4 walls most of the days, you know? Like, and I'm a lot younger than what he is.
They're only little superficial grazes, so they won't have gone through any kind of nerves or tendons or anything like that, so at least that's something.
He's got a bathroom with a mirror and he's talking to himself. It makes me choke up, see him go like that, and the amount of times you explain to him, he's still not getting it, sort of thing. You know, and it does, I have to walk out of the room sometimes because it like want to burst out crying. You know what I mean? Like,
I think this one's broken.
His finger's always been like that because this happened about 20 odd years ago.
So it's always been a bit deformed,
it's always
has
been a bit
it?
because like he punched the wall for some reason. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, okay.
Yeah. And they couldn't, I don't know whether
Straighten
they straighten it or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
So it's been like that for about 20 years?
Maybe a bit longer. I was about 11, 12 then, something like that.
Right, so if you could pop down to X-ray,
That's
okay?
down there and
yeah,
right in
so
it,
you
yeah.
want to go
Yeah.
down the corridor, have your pictures done, and then come back and I'll see you again.
All right.
All right?
Come then.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you shortly, okay?
Just got to go X-ray now, yeah? Got to go to X-ray.
Oh.
Everything's going to be all right. All right, darling?
Daisy's been in resus for just over an hour. She's been given painkillers, fluids, and had her blistered legs assessed.
If it's any consolation, do you know how much this hurts my hands? No. Not a lot. Well done.
My legs hurt a
lot from the burning. But
She has first and second degree burns to 13% of her body.
It's not going to get any worse.
Daisy was amazing. I think she was somewhere between scared, shocked, and in a lot of pain, and she needed reassurance. Which is an odd thing because I had no grounds upon which to reassure her. Every shadow is a ghost in those situations, and every scenario is a worst-case scenario.
Well done, you. Well done, you. How brave are you? Hey?
I remember Daisy's dad came in with 2 plastic bags on his hands. He'd obviously burnt his hands as well. We were told that he'd tried to put out the fire with his hands and had done the job. Unfortunately, he'd burnt himself in the process. If you burn yourself on the cooker, it's a very painful burn on one finger and you're cursing yourself for the rest of the day about one tiny little blister. I can't imagine what it must have been like for him having burns right the way across both of his hands. But his main concern was looking after his daughter.
I'm very glad you're here. I couldn't do this without you. Thank you for looking after me.
Maybe not be able to go to school on Monday.
Well, you know what?
No.
Maybe I won't either. So should we stay at home together?
Yes.
And watch telly? Shall we do that?
Dads aren't always the first person that bring their children into A&E. It's normally mums and daughters that you see when it is a dad-daughter. There's almost something a little bit more special about a dad-daughter relationship. Daddy's little girl.
Darling, it wasn't your fault, was it? It wasn't your fault.
It was the fire's
It was the fire's fault. It was entirely the fire's fault. It was all very scary, wasn't it? And you know you're feeling a bit better now? It's going to get better and better and better.
But Daddy,
Yeah?
it's always the fire's fault.
It's always the fire's fault. You're quite right.
My dad was away when I was Daisy's age. He was in Falklands, and it's nice to see that relationship with the child.
I think we might have to put that skirt in the bin now.
I think so.
Should we get you a new one? What colour do you want the new one to be?
I suggest you take Daddy shopping for 2 new skirts.
Should we go and get 2 new skirts and some new tights? I tell you what, why don't you take Mummy and I'll give you the money. Because you don't want to go skirt shopping with Daddy, do you?
Daddy trying to get our shopping already? Right.
She wants a new skirt. I could never assume that I was going to be a father. You know, there had to be some mad woman out there who was going to do the other half of the deal.
Do you think we've got to get me a new top too?
You've got to get me a new top. Shall we? Shall we all go clothes shopping?
That'd be nice. A nice treat for everybody.
They don't train you in fatherhood. I think we all set out on the journey with good intentions. They are pretty much shattered by about week 1. And by about year 2, you begin to get a grip on how it all works. And by year 25, you realise you were wrong all along. But she's my daughter. She's my diamond. She's my diamond Daisy. What do I see when I look at you? My little diamond, don't I?
God, I tell you what, that's snowball style, that, isn't it?
Hey! Go on, have a go. Have a go. See if you can snowboard.
You look at that!
Sod off!
You sod!
When I was a kid, it snowed a lot. We thought, oh, great, day off. No. School's just round the corner, you're still going. Then we occasionally get the people making a snowman. I'm like, no, don't want to make that. Just have a good old snow fight.
Here we go.
Ah, yeah. What else you doing?
That belongs to should get run over.
Maurice is waiting for the results of his X-ray.
You ain't hurting as much now as when he was out in the cold.
No.
When you go out in the cold, when we go out, like, yeah, if, depending what they do,
Hey?
I said, when we go out, depending what they do, put your hand in your pocket, because that way you won't, because it's cold, it makes it hurt, that's why.
Yeah.
His long-term memory is fine, it's just his short-term memory, I think. I know it's not going to get any better, but we all know that, but there's not a lot you can do about it. It's just wait till the time comes. There's nothing, no one's invincible, are they? You know what I mean? You know, it's all going to come to all of us, you know what I mean? One day. Could happen to me. Could happen to anybody.
So your X-ray was normal, okay, so all good. All right, you've just scuffed your hand basically and grazed it. It will be a bit bruised and a bit sore, but it's not broken and there's no injury to the tendons or the nerves or anything there, okay?
I was married with 6 kids, but I'm separated from their mum, but I still see my kids and everything. Everybody needs a dad and a mum in their life, don't they?
Okay, because he has had a minor injury.
As long as my dad can talk to me, come out, go for a walk with me and stuff like that, that's all right. As soon as he can't remember me and stuff like that, I think that's when it will get to me. You know? But I'll just have to deal with it when it gets to that, which I hope will be in about another 20 years.
You got a hat, it's freezing out there.
He doesn't wear it or anything.
Really? You don't feel the cold? Oh, it's bitter today, isn't it?
I've always been the same.
Have you?
I'll go walk, no matter how cold it is out there, I'll still go through it. Thanks very much.
No worries.
Bye-bye.
Take care, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's all right, darling. I'm here. I'm here.
5-year-old Daisy is in resus with 1st and 2nd degree burns.
You're being very brave. You're being brilliant, aren't you?
Dad, Damien, needs to have his own burns looked at.
So what's the story today?
So we have a little open gas fire at home, flame fire, and Daisy was standing clearly near it, and her skirt caught fire. I ran over and tore her clothes off and put the fire out with my hands. It was completely knee-jerk. I just recognised the need to get the fire out and off her as quickly as was physically possible. Yep. Less so. What does still keep me awake at night is what could have happened. There is guilt and there is the trauma of the event. And the solution, if you can call it that, is not to change your behaviour. You carry on, it's happened, it's now been and gone. If you change your behaviour, it stays in the present. But if you don't change and you carry on lighting the fire, then it ceases to be in the present and it remains in the past. And what's the procedure? Basically, just sort of dress it and let it heal itself, or?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, because of the open areas, you don't want to get any infection.
Yeah.
So it's about sort of just being aware of that. But yeah, and these looks very superficial.
I had an assessment where they had a look and they sort of prodded and pressed and tweaked, and it was a revolting sight, and I could smell the burnt flesh on my hands.
So we can book transport then, can't we?
Yes, I don't see why not. Is Chelsea accepting?
Yeah, both.
Cool.
Daisy's wounds need specialist attention to minimise scarring and prevent infection.
Nurse escort.
She'll be transferred to the burns unit at Chelsea and Westminster Hospital.
We can treat burns at King's. We treat some of the minor burns, but We all have our own specialities. I could have put a dressing onto the burn and it could have got infected. It might not have been the right dressing. They're the specialists. They're the people for the job.
All right, let's quickly go for a walk quickly. Bye. So bye. Oh, look. Snowing. Wow. Wow. Oh. It's freezing out here. Really, really cold. Oh, snowing. Wow. Wow. Let's take you back in now. See you later.
Could Dr. Thomas contact David in minors, please? Dr. Thomas contact staff nurse David in minors, thanks. Could Dr. Thomas contact David in minors, please? Dr. Thomas contact staff nurse David in minors, thanks.
Is it Ginger?
Yeah.
Hello, Ginger.
Hi.
Hi, come on through.
Thank you. Thank you for seeing me so quickly. I know you've got lots of really serious folk to deal with.
It's my pleasure. Have a seat for me. My name's Safi. I'm one of the nurse practitioners here. How can I help you?
Last night, because it was so cold, I was trying to put a sweater over one of our very, very old cats, and I think I just startled him, and he went chomp. I, washed it out, like they say, and everything. But this morning, it was a bit red and a bit swollen, so the doctor wrote me a prescription for that. He said, just make sure you get at least 3 doses in today. So I said, fine.
Ginger is 61. She's come to A&E after being bitten by her cat, Hector.
It shouldn't have got worse once the antibiotics had started.
Yeah, often infections will get worse in the first 24 hours because if you imagine that you're taking a treatment that takes 24 hours to have an effect, the bacteria is still multiplying before the actual bacteria starts to be killed by the antibiotics.
I saw evidence that we had a mouse in the house, so I rang up my stepmother-in-law and I said, Beryl, we have a mouse. What do you think I should do? And she said, no, my dear, you don't have a mouse. Trust me, you have mice. He will have friends. So she said, you'll have to get another cat as quickly as possible.
I'm not a wuss normally, but it's very warm to the touch and it's very sore here. It wasn't red at all here this morning and it certainly wasn't swollen like that.
Hector spent a large part of his life asleep. And the thing that made him come absolutely alive was the theme song to the Archers. And that's when he would leap up and think, oh, yippee, dinner time, and Mummy's home.
I mean, it's definitely infected. It is the question as to whether we give you intravenous antibiotic treatment or not.
It was really cold, and I was wrapping him up in a very old cashmere V-neck cardigan. He did like his creature comforts. I just thought it would be nice to tuck him all under rather than having him sitting on top of the sweater.
I'm going to get my reg to review this, okay? Because I'm in two minds. It's not clear-cut, to be honest with you. Because it's the hand, we have to be extra careful. Okay. So I'm just going to get his opinion.
All right. Okay. No, that's good.
The snow come down, oh my gosh. It's crazy, it's not stopped.
If there's anybody that speaks Somalian and that's wrong, could you please make us a great job, thank you.
With the tannoy, occasionally we get the old C1. Occasionally I get the Cafino. Can the Cafino come to Major's? Patients go, what's going on here?
My lovely grey streaks. I need to done my hair soon.
My lovely grey streaks. I need to done my hair soon.
Are they serious? Did they just...
They did.
Is this a bad time to give you more drugs?
No, never bad.
We'll see how this goes. We can give you some more Oromorph, okay? But is that all right?
Thank you very much.
Your wife's on the phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Hi. Yes, it is. Yes. Yeah, no, fine. She's got 13% first and second degree. She is going to need to go to the burns unit at Chelsea and Westminster. But they're going to try and get me to go there as well, not least because, you know, father and daughter sort of thing. You know, she's sort of up and down, but she's fine. Are you all right? Yeah, I was sort of hurting a bit, and I don't think it'll sink in for a while. Did the fire brigade come? And are they all right? Cool. What I do, I'd stay put. I'd stay put until we're in Chelsea. Yeah, it's quite hard for me to call. I can't use any of my fingers there, that's the problem. I'll try and get someone to call you. Yeah. Yeah, she's had lots of pain relief. I've had codeine, morphine, and it's now just sorting out the burns, basically. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Thank you.
Okay, Red, what happened? I slipped over on the ice and I've hit my wrist.
Hi, Dad. Me and Hope went out about 2 hours ago. These guys, came up to us, started throwing, snowballs at us. Yeah, proper snowing.
Hello, it's all go. I've had to take my rings off because my fingers are getting so swollen. And I'm waiting for the orthopedic guy to come down and have a look. I may have to have an intravenous antibiotic drip. Anyway, is it still snowing?
I've got a daughter, 28, Kitty, who got married in December, and a son, Edward, who's working in the occupied territories in Palestine.
Okay, darling, I'll see you. Bye.
I've been a primary school teacher for the last 22 years, I think it is. I thought it was absolutely terrific when we had a snow day from school because the children absolutely loved it, and they, when they came back the next day, they said, oh, it's absolutely wonderful. You know what we did? We went to the park, we had a toboggan, we got a sledge out, we made a snowman. We did things. And, most of the parents of primary school children these days are both working. And if your children can't go to school, then you can't go to work. And so you have to do things as a family. I think those kind of things are the memories that children store up forever.
Hi.
All right. Just gonna take some blood and put a line into you, if that's all right.
Yeah, fine.
The doctors need to assess how badly infected Ginger's cat bite is.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Ginger. Is that your name? Sorry.
Yes, hello.
Okay, hi. My name is Ibrahim. I'm one of the A&E.
How do you do?
Okay, so you had a cat bite, did you?
Yeah, I was trying to put a sweater over him because it was so cold.
Let's have a look. Okay, I'm just going to straighten your finger. Does that hurt?
Ouch.
Okay, fine. What I think would be wise is that...
That wasn't a serious ouch. That was more like, when a 5-year-old falls over and cries before. I thought it was going to hurt more than it did, so...
Okay. Essentially, what you have is you have an infection, obviously, and this is a soft tissue infection. We would advise that you come into hospital for an overnight stay where we give you intravenous antibiotics.
What, you mean like now?
Be admitted today, yes. and we keep you in a high arm sling, so your arm will be like this, up here, okay, for the 24 hours. And then we review you in the morning.
Okay, okay, right. Well, I'm an idiot if I don't take your advice. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to go home, get a few things, leave the car in the garage, talk to my husband, leave my engagement ring and wedding ring, which I've had to take off at home, and get a minicab back in an hour. That's what I'd like to do.
I just couldn't believe it. I thought they were going to wash the wound out with some sort of super-duper stuff and put some sort of amazing gel on it and wrap it in something and then say, come back on Monday and we'll see how you're going. I was just so concerned about taking up bed space. I kept thinking, well, what if someone comes in and they really need a bed in the ward and they're kept on a trolley all night because I've got this cat bite and I could go home and just pop back. Doesn't really work like that.
Okay. Am I going to have to wear a hospital gown, or can I wear my Father Christmas pyjamas?
I think you can wear pyjamas. Yeah. You can wear pyjamas as long as it's something that you know. People can examine you if they need to and things like that.
Oh yeah, we're not talking a little negligee here. We're talking. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much indeed, Doctor.
Okay.
Oh.
Well.
Thank you.
A Christmas present for the cat then.
Ambulance has arrived. Hello, yeah, so.
Right, Days, we're going to get back in the car with the bed now. I'm coming with you.
Daddy.
Yeah.
When they're carrying me in the bed,
yeah.
it won't hurt because I'm better.
They won't what?
It won't hurt because I'm better.
No, they'll be very gentle. They'll be very gentle, all right?
Right, gorgeous girls. So when this comes to here, we're just going to get you to shuffle your bottom a little bit if you can. 1, 2, 3.
Yay!
Over we go.
Well done.
Well done, darling.
That's a good girl. Okay, you're warm enough, sweetheart. We're going outside, it's quite cold.
Thank you very much for all your
Can't help
help.
the weather.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
You've got her notes. Shall we bring your dad as well? Do you think it's all right then? Just for today. You see.
Thanks for all your help. Bye-bye, thank you. Oh, that's lovely, cold air. Daisy loves the snow. And she took great comfort on that Saturday evening, seeing the snow falling, and I think she rather liked that. I tell you, on these, it's absolute heaven. Absolute heaven. But I remember it was the most wonderful feeling because my hands were burnt, and suddenly holding them in this air that was about -2 was the most lovely sensation.
And I'm just going to hook you onto us, just the little one on your finger, sweetheart. We won't hook you up to everything else.
The nurse, she was our friend on site. She came with us to Chelsea, she got us in, she checked us in. I'll never forget her, Daisy will never forget her. She was more than a nurse. For that brief moment in time, she was a soulmate.
I got a phone call when we were in Florida saying Hector's not really very well, that he wasn't going to be long for this world, so they'd got a hot water bottle, they'd turned on Radio 4, and the vet's wife had held him on her lap, and then he'd kind of shuffled off to Buffalo Hill, as they say in Texas.
He's got at least another 20 years in him. I mean, might be a bit worse than what he is now, but good luck to him. It'll be a good innings if he gets to 94 or 95. It's a good innings for anybody.
She had a skin graft on the back of her left leg in 2 or 3 different places. There's no indication yet of whether or not the scarring will be permanent. It may well be, it may not be. She's in no pain. She's very wary of fire, not surprisingly, but she's a plucky little thing. And that day showed, like nothing I've ever seen, how plucky she is and how amazing she is.
Where do you find a turtle on its back?
In the woods.
Or where you left it?
My daddy's the best daddy in the world.
Hello, children's only.
Feel anxious of what can be going on with a 3.5-month-old who's sick enough to call it in as a red phone.
Would I have done something? Is it my fault he's in this position in the first place?
I was worried that he was sick enough that he might die.